Hi, this is Cheryl Dorsey, creator and founder of You're More Than Their Mother, and I teach entrepreneurial moms to reclaim, realign, and rebalance their lives and go after their dreams. So today, like I said, I want to talk to you about learning how to accept help. And I want to talk to you first about why it is that we don't accept help. When it's given to us or offered to us, or even if we need help, why don't we speak up? I want to talk to you about the effects that it is or that it's having on us. And then I want to talk to you about the benefits of accepting that help. So let's start off from the top. Why is it that we don't accept help from others? I know for many of us, accepting help from others really kind of makes us, even if we don't say this out loud, subconsciously think about or put ourselves in the category of weak. Meaning we can't handle whatever it is that life has thrown at us or that we've created, and that for some reason we will be viewed as weak if we took the help that was offered to us. Hey there, Money Mom, thanks for joining in. If we took the help that was offered to us. And that just really couldn't be further from the truth. That's really an old paradigm that you got from somewhere. Very often it's from the person who raised you, the environment that you were living in. And sometimes we can even acquire that from other adults that we are around. Even as we get older, we are kind of still influenced by the company it is that we keep, even as adults. Another reason why we don't accept help as it's given is because we don't feel like we want to owe anybody anything. And if you know what I'm talking about and you're on here live, definitely let me know. Hit me with some hearts and let me know. We don't want to feel like, okay, I knew you got it. We don't want to feel like we owe anybody anything. So we take it on and say, hey, I can handle this myself. I'll do whatever it takes to get what it is that I need done. And we don't want to feel, again, not feeling indebted. But again, we have to consider the source of where it is that came from and the circumstances we were in at the time. Very often, we were in a different position than we are now. We're not in a position, in many cases, where we need a handout. Right? We just simply may need some type of, maybe it may even be advice, maybe just a quick favor, as we like to categorize it, or maybe even it may be considered almost like a consultation if we really kind of got into the business aspect of it. But nothing where we would, if they don't do it for us, we will fail, right? So it's not this thing where we feel indebted, where we feel like, oh my gosh, they saved my life out of this. It's nothing that's that serious, but yet we take it on and we internalize it that way. So that keeps us from asking for the help. And again, that's not good. That's not a good thing for us, because what happens from that is we end up in overwhelm. We end up taking on more than we have to. We have a village all around us. We have people who are willing to support us, people who are excited about our progress and who want us to and who want us to excel and want to see us do good, and they are more than willing to help us. And what we have to do is to release those old paradigms of what we consider help to be, right? A handout, being in debt to someone, being seen as weak. We really have to release those things, number one, by not caring what it is that other people think of us. We have to be strong enough and adult enough, because if you think about it, moms, we tell our children the same thing. We tell our children, you can't worry about what other people think about you or what they're saying about you, right? What's most important is your perception of yourself and what it is that we allow and what we think around here, me and being mom and dad or whomever is raising that kid. I see you get it. Thank you. Whoever is raising your child. So if we require that of our children, why are we not requiring that of ourselves? And just because we're not saying it out loud doesn't mean that that's not what's going on with us. We have some of those. Sorry, guys, I'm really trying to get this camera adjusted here. Let me sit up straight. Okay, sorry about that. It's a little better, yeah. But we really have to get ourselves in order, because the truth is, children, they don't follow what we do. They don't follow what we say. They follow what we do. They learn through the clarity of our example. So they will see you backing down, not speaking up, not asking for help, not going to get what it is that you need, and they will again duplicate that in their lives. So it's so hugely important that you eradicate and eliminate old paradigms, old thoughts, old perceptions about things that no longer serve you, like asking for help. Now let me tell you about how detrimental it can be. We see it as just something that, oh my goodness, I need to get better at. But I want you to understand that that thing builds itself up and can cause huge dis-ease in your body, right? That, of course, will manifest itself physically for you and mentally for you in a negative way. When we don't ask for the help that we need, and I just mentioned this a little bit earlier, and I'll pull this out or elaborate a little bit more, we begin to take on more than it is that we can handle effectively and with as less stress as possible on us. When we begin to take on these tasks because we don't want to ask somebody, and all the other reasons it is that we take on all of this, all of these weights, okay, and all of these things to do, when we do that, we then, not what we do is, sometimes that results in a headache. First, let me just start there. Sometimes that can result in a headache because you taking on all that stuff is stressful, right? You still have basic things to do around the house, like number one, taking care of yourself, your children, working or starting or working your business or starting your business, whatever the case may be with that. But then with all of the added tasks and responsibilities on top of that that naturally come with it, that is a stress, right? And then if you need help, if there's something outside of your realm of understanding or something outside of your realm of reach at that moment, but you still need it and you don't ask for help, that causes a stress, an undue stress, an unequal stress. And stress can cause headaches, right? Those headaches and that stress can also cause ulcers, right? That stress and all those things in your stomach. Well, guess what else it also caused that I learned in my life? I learned that it also causes belly fat, right? I told you all many times, I have a huge story. I have lost almost 100 pounds. And I realized that a lot of that weight that I was carrying was stress. It was stress because I was not willing to speak up and reach out and ask for the help I needed because I didn't want to be perceived in any other way than the ideal picture I had in my head. I didn't want other people to perceive me any other way. And I did it to a fault. I did it to detriment of my health. I'm just so very grateful that I stopped that before it became a problem for me. Problem resulting in diabetes or high blood pressure, things like that. That's the other side of that. Not only can it go from something as small and as easily curable as a headache, it can escalate into high blood pressure, into diabetes. When you're talking about weight and high blood pressure, now we're talking about pressure on your knees and your joints and things like that. So I'm telling you, it's like a ripple effect. It can go out really as far, it can really go, unfortunately, into your untimely passing. Let's just go ahead and be honest. Stress can kill, right? And it's just something that just does not have to happen. So with all that being said, and I hope that we're getting a clear understanding of what it is that I'm meaning, how it is that I'm kind of walking you through this, and why it's so important. Good. Thank you so much, Tracy. But why it's so important that you learn to reach out and you understand the law of reciprocity of this world, and that you're no different. You're not extinct from how the universe flows and how your life will flow a little bit more easy. And that's just basically in reciprocal order, meaning you give every day. I know if you sat down and think and even listed the things it is that you do for people on a daily basis, really that almost go unnoticed because it's just the great person it is that you are. You'll see that you give a whole lot more than you receive in many cases. So while we're not keeping score literally, I just want you to understand that you're not out here just as a taker. You can speak up and ask for help. You are making a contribution to the world and giving yourself and giving and adding yourself unto it. Okay, so let me tell you the benefits about asking for help. Number one, let's talk about eradicating those health issues from that, right? From that stress. We're talking about weight loss. In my case, literally about 90-something pounds, as you can see now, and many times when I get on, I'm headed to go and work out. But 90+ pounds. We're talking about a lot more in general happy, being happy, your emotions are a lot more balanced when you eradicate those old negative self-chatters about asking for help, right? And when you don't have the weight of that pressure because you have learned to delegate or ask accordingly, right? So your emotions are a lot more balanced. Guess what? Your family benefits from that. You don't anger as quickly. You're not as attitudinal, if you will, when talking to them or in exchange with them or conversation, whatever the case may be. It really does make for brighter days, not only for you, but for everybody who is involved or comes in contact with you, right? So now let's talk about it in business. You are then, when we're talking about asking for help in business, we're talking about opening up a vast amount of resources for you, right? So when you ask for help in business, not only are you asking for the task or for the or are you asking the question at hand, very often, because people want to see you succeed, because people want you to be happy, because people appreciate effort and drive and ambition. Very often when you ask for help, not only will they tell you what you need for that, so often they'll share with you the next step or give you multiple resources for the thing it is that you're asking, right? So they may tell you things that you did not even know, that you had no idea to even ask about. But because you were willing and had enough courage to share or to ask for the help it is that you needed, now you're opened up to more resources than you even knew were out here, right? Now, when you have those type of resources and you're able to put them in action and put some action behind them, implement them in your business, we're talking about attracting more customers or clients. We're talking about reaching more people to do what it is that you love. We're talking about them sharing it with other people you love, and your business begins to grow exponentially. Yes, sometimes it says that is it. Sometimes not knowing what to ask. Yep, that happens to all of us, Tracy. Sometimes we don't know what to ask, but guess what? Sometimes you can share where it is you are right now, and that person can actually help you. You can let them know, man, I'm so stressed. I'm really trying to start this business and I don't even know where to start. I don't even know what to do, for example, right? And that person can say, oh my goodness, girl, I know how stressful that can be. Have you started with, right? Identifying what it is that you want to do. Have you started with listing what resources it is that you have? Have you started your web page? Have you contacted people? Have you created a resource list? Whatever the case may be, people have information that we don't even know that they have. But we have to have enough courage and be candid enough to tell them, I'm in a space where I don't know and I need your help. So all you can do is what you can do, right? But if you don't speak up, or if you sit at home and say, man, I don't know what to ask, and you kind of bounce that off the walls, or just with a person who has no interest, or maybe not even the same mindset as you, you'll be stuck right where it is that you are right now, opposed to reaching out to people who you know are on the same path as you, are of like mindset as you, and who want the same things as you. So it's all possible. It's all possible. Does that make sense, Tracy? Good. I'm glad you are understanding me. So I hope that helps you. I hope you understand what it is that I mean and the importance. Good. Very good. Thank you, Tracy. And the importance of asking for help, and how you can see that it's not just a little fleeting thing that you should blow off. It's hugely important, because not only can it affect you negatively emotionally, we're talking about a physical ailments that these things create, or that this can create, and we're talking about sometimes to our detriment. So I don't want that to happen to you. I know that I was on that path and I had to make some changes. I had to eliminate things that no longer serve me and learn to speak up and advocate on my behalf. Okay? So please do share this with others if that serves you. I appreciate you joining me live. And if you are watching the replay, definitely hit me with your questions or comments and let me know if this applies to you. Have you been in this situation before? Thank you, Tracy. Thank you. Have you been in this situation before? What have you done better? What have you done now to correct that, right? And how are you doing better with it? So leave those comments. I'll be sure to follow up with you personally. I appreciate you joining me. Thank you so much. I'm going to get out of here. But remember, It's time, until we meet again, it's time to move beyond everyone else's expectations of who you ought to be and become the woman you thought that you could be. Bye.